Okay, my name is Brianna. I am 17 and I'm a junior. I have ADD, so I do have problems with staying attentive and my mind tends to wander. This causes me to lose focus in my classes and causes me to be forgetful and at times unorganized. For my one cool strength I have is I can read upside down. I'm also good at taking care of others and helping others. Um, For my accommodations in high school, I have an alternative setting for test taking and go to the learning lab to complete them. I also have an EchoPen, which helps me with my notes. Currently, I am a VR customer. I haven't done project skills, nor have I done it in the past. I got a job on my own at Dairy Queen. After high school, I want to be an elementary school teacher and go to Northern State University for 4 years. I like kids and would like to want to work with them. Some accommodations I will need to request at NSU is a quiet place to study and a quiet alternative setting to take my tests. Also, I would like to have an EchoPen because it really helps with tests. Some interests of mine is I love being around kids and babysitting. Also, I like hockey games with my family, especially when there's fights.
So we got a little bit on Brianna. So we'll go to Aaron and let you take off with how you might be able to assist our Brianna.
Oh, it's so nice to hear from Brenna. I actually can relate in a way. I was diagnosed with ADHD in my final years of high school and still into adulthood, and have taken, used a lot of interventions to help me be successful. And make no mistake, I'm successful, and not despite the ADHD. Some of that energy I can conjure has led to some great things. So Brenna, the future is absolutely bright, and I just love to hear your enthusiasm when you're talking about working with kids and helping people. Those are wonderful things that you can do, and a wonderful utilization of the energy that you have. I'm messy too. I got a desk full of toys that keep my hands busy. But ultimately it's something that I don't necessarily have to overcome, but something that I live with quite well. And I'm just excited to hear this. So Brenna, there are so many opportunities to work with kids, and it is teaching, it is development, it is play. There is so many different opportunities, and it seems like you're already engaging in some of the things that you need to do to gain experience in that field. So you're doing some babysitting already. It's a perfect thing to do to gain some experience working with kids. What I would suggest, outside of forming another team with all the resources available, is let's get businesses in your community that serve kids in touch with you directly. You can talk to them, you can ask them questions, you can job shadow, you can do paid internships. You get hands-on and get paid to gain that experience, even while you're in high school right now. Whether it's through the vocational rehabilitation program or our program or some combination of the two, there's definitely a lot of opportunity, and I would say get hands-on with that. It's a great way to learn. And when you are ready to transition to post-secondary, we're going to be there with you and help solve some of those problems that everybody has when they're going into post-secondary. How much is it going to cost? What am I going to do for student loans? How do I fill out my financial aid? Where am I going to live when I get there? Who do I know in those communities? What are the resources available to me in the community? What are the resources available to me at the school? Whether you work with us or not, I would implore you to reach out to TRIO or Student Support Services at any four-year institution that you're interested in. That organization, I can tell you today that I wouldn't be here if it weren't for the help and guidance that they provided me through that. So there's just so much to do, in addition to making sure that you are connected with every resource, every tool that is available, because ultimately you owe it to yourself to be successful. So utilize the tools that are out there that can help you and form that team around you until you reach that finish line.
Sounds great. Thanks. Allison.
Yeah, so Brianna definitely looks like a very outgoing girl and definitely would be a lot of fun to work with, as well as the other ones. It would definitely be awesome just to see how they grow and how they succeed in what they do. And so that is one kind of fun part with ILC, that we get to see that with those skills with them. And so kind of with her, you know, she kind of seems like what she wants to do. She has an idea of what she wants to go to school for. And, you know, she loves working with people and kids. And so another thing we could actually assist with is, you know, even though if she does have a job or is in the process of getting one, we can always look at volunteering and kind of getting out there in that community and, you know, getting in touch with other places that maybe she can volunteer and just get that experience for her and before college. And so that could be another thing we could work on. I kind of would like to kind of meet with her just to see if she does have disability, if she is in the process of getting it, maybe get in contact with vocational rehab and see how they're assisting her, and how ILC can assist as well, and how she can benefit with our services. Another one, maybe our peer support group, maybe attending that, building those friendships, and maybe becoming a trained peer support visitor and giving that support to others, and maybe just getting a peer support visitor and building a friendship that way as well. Advocacy, we can all learn more about advocacy, speaking up for ourselves, and different scenarios for when she goes to college, what she might approach with others, other students, maybe with teachers, those kinds of things. And lastly, our summer transition program. We could always learn those skills. And with this program, with her age, you know, with it being our program 16 to 21, it is definitely a huge program just to learn those skills. And I think she could definitely benefit with that and being around maybe others that have the similar disability as she does. And so maybe how they adapt to it. So, yeah.
Great. Yeah, it sounds like she, you know, if she's living in Redfield, you know, will she move to Aberdeen and need housing and that kind of thing? So she might fall into the same line as Mercedes too, in the transition there.
Nope, and so we could definitely work with the specialists in Huron, since she's in Redfield and that is their coverage there. We could definitely work on that together and kind of get her directed here, and if we need to look into housing for here as well. So
Sounds great. Okay, let's move on then to Katie and or Emily, whoever's going to take this one.
Well, I'm gonna, you know, obviously what Allison and Aaron said, and I'm gonna kind of piggyback on a lot of the services that Emily mentioned for Miss Mercedes. We would want her to continue exploring some part-time jobs just to give her more experience with working with children, to maybe have a better idea of what sort of age she would like. Does she like more of the elementary kiddos? Does she like more of the middle school? Just so she can keep getting those experiences to determine what she really likes. So when she gets to college, she can really hone in on the classes that she needs to graduate and get into the career of her choice. We could use the virtual job shadow. She didn't really mention I don't remember her mentioning a school that she's interested in yet. So with that virtual job shadow, we could explore all the universities in South Dakota and even out of state to see which schools would be she'd be interested in, and also compare prices, because obviously four-year schools are not cheap. So, you know, if location is not that important to her of where she goes, maybe it's the cost that would be the school of where she would want to go. So we would help her do that, give her guidance on applying for that financial aid, helping her apply for the school when she schedules those college tours, making sure that she's also scheduling appointments with the disability coordinators so she can hear from them what they can and can't give to her. From the sounds of it, a lot of the accommodations that she's currently receiving, like the quiet settings for tests and things like that, could be available at that college level. So those disability coordinators will confirm that. And if there is something she's getting in high school, those disability coordinators could tell her that she maybe needs to step away from that modification since it's not going to be available to her. So then that way she's not dependent on that when she does get to that 4 year. And that's a lot of those she'll learn at the Catch the Wave. Emily mentioned that. Learning the differences between high school supports and college supports, because there is a huge difference between those, or there can be a huge difference. So going to the Catch the Waves that are held in the spring to start understanding those would be a huge benefit to her and Mercedes. She mentioned the EchoPen. Like Emily mentioned, we can look at assistive technology devices, the EchoPen being one. There might be some other devices that will help with her organization, since that seems to be a struggle for her at times in staying focused. There could be some devices out there that we can look at paying for and providing training on to help her be successful at that post-secondary. If she meets financial need, we can look at tuition assistance and books and supplies assistance and things like that. And like Emily and Erin both mentioned, that continual follow-on to assist with any needs while attending post-secondary, including if she wants help finding part-time work while she's going to college, we can help with that and provide whatever support she needs at that part-time job. If she needs a job coach or on-site monitoring, we can assist with that as well until she gets that, earns that degree that she's working towards, and then help her find a career utilizing that degree.
All right, thank you. And Rhonda.
Okay, so first off, I would ask some basic questions to find out what might be going on right now as far as any benefits that she might be receiving or any services that she's receiving. And then ask her some questions about her future goals. I know that she already said that she wants to be a teacher. So for her, discussing and giving her some detail about Maude would be a really good idea. But then also asking her what she sees herself doing as far as work while she is attending school, because she obviously wants to attend school. But, you know, and Maude would be a great avenue for her to look at after she does have her degree and when she does want to earn, or when she does want to work full time. But if she doesn't want to apply for disability benefits, she could still look at Maude while she's going to school, because with Maude, you don't have to be working full time. You can work one day a month, or you can work 40 hours a week. You know, that work requirement is very, very broad. So I'd want to give her a lot of detail about Social Security versus Maude so that she can make a choice. And the more information she has about the different benefits out there, the more choices a person has. So, after all of that, I would really make sure that she had my phone number. A lot of times people will call me and say, gosh, you know, I'm sorry to bug you again. And I have to tell them that you should bug me a lot. That is my job, is you should call and ask questions. And, you know, half of my day is just answering people's basic questions and then referring them to other organizations that might be able to help them with whatever they're needing. If I'm not the one to help them, then I will get them to the person that can. But yeah, I guess that's it.
All right. Well, thank you, Rhonda. And I think that's, you know, that's the kind of wraps it up, I guess. Now, I'd really like to ask if anyone has anything else to add, anything they might have overlooked that they'd like to share with the students out there and the teachers, family members.
One thing I wanted to say, especially about Department of Labor, vocational rehabilitation, these are also services to the businesses in our town. So we want to help them successfully engage with people who are seeking jobs, seeking opportunity. Employers have a reason to want to connect with these people. And what we can do is anyone who's looking for an opportunity, we can help make those connections, you know. Vocational rehabilitation has the language, they know the resources, they're the experts at the accommodations for those disabilities. We don't want to reinvent the wheel every time. We don't want necessarily to have all that expertise because we have a partner who is already willing and able to provide those resources. And I just want to thank you, Dan, for putting this together, because I learned a lot by sitting here. You know, some of you I work with more than others, but just sitting here and hearing what is available out there, that widens our ability to provide meaningful service. The more that we're aware of each other. So I hope that we're in touch beyond today.
Great. Absolutely. Thanks, Aaron. Does anyone else have anything to share before we wrap up?
Yeah,
And
I just want to remind everyone, you know, there's a lot of the resources that Emily and I talked about that are specific to voc rehab is on our website. So I would encourage you to go to, it's dhs.sd.gov, and you'll have to click on rehabilitation services, and then there's a transition resource tab. And in there you can find more information about the project skills, project search. There's a VR transition service video. There's information about Catch the Wave, the E-Track and virtual job shadow that we mentioned a few times. So as well as that listing of public schools and the counselor that covers those schools. So if you're unsure of the counselor that covers your school district, make sure you go to our website to find out who that is so that you can give them a call, introduce yourself and say, what can you do for me? So then that way we can get that process started, or have us come to your IEP meeting. If you know there's one coming up, tell them, what about voc rehab? Can we get voc rehab to our meeting? And, you know, even if we can't get the others, like we mentioned today, we've got a good partnerships going with the independent living centers, as well as Department of Labor and the benefit specialists. So even if just one of us is at that meeting, we can make sure that we share the information of the other agencies. So if there's something that we can't provide, but we know Department of Labor or independent living or a benefit specialist, we'll make sure that you get connected with those folks. So just make sure one of us is at your IEP meeting, or reach out to one of us so that we can start working with you to develop that transition team to help you be the most successful adult that you can be.
Good information. Thanks, Katie. And during our event, we will have websites posted so that everyone will have access to those on the PowerPoint that we're sharing. So anything else from anyone? Well, with that, I want to thank each and every one of you for taking time to share with us and to help to make this event productive and successful event. And I want to thank the staff that are joining us today, Cindy and Dave. And with that, we'll conclude. So thank you very much.